You are now a demigod. Niggas suck feet?
Huh?
I don't suck feet.
Good.
I don't suck feet either.
Good. Keith?
If they pretty and she pretty, I might. Like Rihanna, you not gonna suck her toes?
No.
Y'all
I
bugging
never
out,
understood that.
Yeah.
We
Y'all
recording
bugging
it?
out. I'm sucking Rihanna toes.
Recording. We're
Mike's
on.
hot?
Oh,
Mike's
oh,
hot,
God.
camera's hot, we're on.
Alright.
We're on.
I never understood the precedence of that. Why is it because she looks excessively good, it requires some odd shit? If you're not sucking regular toes, why are you gonna suck her toes?
Because more than likely, if they pretty, she pretty.
Huh?
What?
Correlation.
Have you never
No.
seen some ugly girls with ugly feet? I mean, good-looking girls with ugly feet?
What if she a dancer?
I have.
Ooh,
What if she's a dancer?
I have.
don't leave it hanging, Chris.
That don't necessarily mean her feet's gonna be
100% it
ugly.
does. If she's a real dancer.
But how you
If she's a real dancer. If she's a real
niggas is
dancer.
yelling.
No.
Yo, I'm telling you, some of them got okay toes. They feet just be strong as a
Bro,
bitch.
how?
Them
Nah.
shits be strong
Real
as a
dancers?
bitch.
The ones who be
You
on
talking ballet?
I understand
Nah,
what
they
you're
all
saying.
get
I'm
good,
telling you. I'm telling
We
you.
should be.
I know from experience, my
Dancers
niggas. I
people
ain't up here just telling no
I'm telling you,
story.
where were you? The shorty with
But I
she was
didn't
not-
suck her feet.
She was not elite.
You ain't suck her
Didn't
toes?
suck the feet.
You
Yo,
ain't pop one of them
Keith,
pepperonis?
was not elite
All
dancer.
right, let's get this shit started. This is you gonna cut this. This is for bloopers.
No, we don't cut. We don't cut.
Oh, I'm gonna
Yeah.
smack the shit out of everybody.
We don't cut.
Hey man, you brought the conversation up.
Yeah, you started.
But I didn't know niggas in mid conversation.
We started
Mike's
talking about elderberry. You
Niggas
brought it to
lost
this.
me, bro.
We started talking about elderberry. You brought it to this.
Feet toes.
Welcome back to another episode of Demigod Chronicles. This is your boy Asante Daya, aka Demigod. Today we got a very special episode. We got some good people in the building. We got multiple people in the building. Alright, think of today's episode as a One Blood remix, alright? Everybody in the industry's in this bitch right now, alright? If you think they're not coming, they're here.
Watch out, fire. Watch out, what?
That shit went crazy. But yeah, so right now, you know, it's me and Chris in here. I'm here with my co-host.
How you guys doing? It's Christian Lopez. Welcome back to another episode of the Demigod Chronicles. We got special guests, so it's gonna be fun. We had a jam pack. We had a good day too.
Facts.
Went a good shop today, so it's a special day.
Yeah.
You getting ready for the new year? And it's the first day of Kwanzaa.
Word. Unity. You want
Umaha? How you feeling?
Umoja.
It's my first year celebrating, so I gotta get these pronunciations.
It does mean unity though.
Yeah, it's on my fridge. But that's why I think this is symbolic, because it's the perfect episode to do something like this on, have everyone you cool with come through, show love, and recap on their year on the first day of Kwanzaa, Day of Unity. So I'm excited, man. It's gonna be a good day.
Facts. We got in the building.
Should we have them introduce themselves, or how do you want to do this?
Yeah. All right, who on mic right now? We're gonna introduce who on mic right now.
You wanna go like this? You wanna go like that?
You go first.
Alright,
Because I like the hat. That shit fire.
Thank you, bro. You talking about my head is up.
Both of y'all. You feel me?
You talking about
got
the hat. It's cool.
But you got a green, but nose is really exclusive.
Feel me, Momo shit. Regular.
Fly guy out here. But you know, it's Nate out here, man. Central Jersey repping.
You know it exists. Oh, really?
We here again. Out here in the earlier episodes. Go drop back in the the catalog to go
Facts.
hear that one.
My boy's back.
But we back.
My
We here.
boy's back.
What's going on? Keefy B, aka Baco, aka Smooth, aka the Chancellor. Whatever you need is out here.
Mr. Sedulous
Mr.
himself.
Sedulous Sundays himself in the flesh.
Yeah.
Whatever you need in North Jersey repping.
I think from
I
Delaware.
will smack the shit out of everybody.
I think from Delaware.
Niggas is crazy.
So,
Yeah.
so we got a
Go
special.
crazy, Chris.
We got a special episode today. We got a rotating seat. So we know they're gonna start off. We're gonna introduce. Are we gonna introduce them now, or when they rotate in, we introduce
We'll
them?
introduce them as they rotate in.
And as they rotate in, as they rotate in, we'll introduce
The
them.
mystery
And then
guest
put the
still
little-
for right now.
Mystery guest.
Put a little pop up when you
Where
with the
it's like
hat name.
when
Just,
we
I'm
come
gonna
back.
have to tell Mahler to get the door for someone, and look. Oh, you gotta bleep these names out so they don't know who's coming.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to tell.
Gotta tell Bleep to get the door for Bleep.
I'm gonna have
About
to tell.
Bleep
Yeah,
minutes.
Mahler, I'm gonna tell Mahler to get the door for bleep in a little bit. So when the name comes up, you're gonna bleep the name out. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, that is fucking hilarious. All right, so basically this episode, you know, we wanted to have everybody here, just to do like a end of the year recap. We're gonna recap our personal years. We're gonna recap, you know, some of the nut shit that went on, some of the good stuff that went on in today's, you know, current state. and how we moving and all that good stuff. So to start it off, I want to ask you all a question. Personally, y'all years, how did you plan for your year to start off? Maybe you could touch on some goals you might have set. I know you two are really goal setting oriented. People get to know a little bit more about you, Nate, when you answer this question. But what are some of the goals you might have set, and how do you feel like your year went? Do you complete some of those things?
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
So I did pretty good with my goals. One of my goals was to bulk up to 185 pounds. So I did that by like June, and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I was too much food. I was just eating too much food, and I cut back down to 175. That was my health goal.
Oh, big yourself up too. Tell them what you was eating.
Oh, we're straight plant based. So
yeah.
For all you jokers and smokers who be talking all this, you need protein, calcium, and all this from meat. You don't. You know what I'm saying? I did it without it.
You
know what I'm saying? Yeah. So don't get me started on that. I proved it wrong literally with my own experiment. So that was great, and got a new job coming up. So that was my financial goal.
Funk flex bombs.
Podcast is booming more. We got new equipment. Everything with business is going great. You know what I mean? So everything I really wanted to happen in my own personal development. I actually didn't read as much as I wanted to. I actually read less than I read the year before. But it wasn't all great.
Do you think the quarantine maybe played a part in that?
Yeah, I was gonna say it wasn't all great. I think I was expecting the quarantine to be over by now, and more so like not realizing like, yo, no, like this is really life. Like life has completely changed. Like the way the world is not the way the world was just 2 years ago. We live in a completely different world and environment, and now the metaverse is going off crazy. I got really into crypto. It's really a whole new world that we're living in, and I think we really gotta get to a point where you completely adapt to the new way things are, or you're gonna be one of those people who get left in the past. The same people who said that they would never need to use a computer. The same people said the internet was a fad. The same people said people would never have cell phones. I feel like if you don't start adapting, you're gonna be one of those people.
Leave
5 years from now.
And it's money you're missing out on too.
Yeah,
that's what I'd agree.
Learn some fucking NFTs.
Even in podcasting, bro. There's people who used to think that podcasting was only audios and it would never be popping with videos. And now if your podcast don't have a video, there's people really looking for that. You know what I mean? So I think everything has changed, and you really gotta. And things are changing faster than they used to be, so you really gotta become hip to what's going on in the world.
Oh, a bonus question I want to add on. What is your biggest takeaway from this year? And then we'll move on to the next.
My biggest takeaway from this year is not as smart as you think you are. There's like this, I think of like this like little, the way knowledge goes. So like when you get a little bit of knowledge in life, you think you know everything. But the more knowledge you get, you start to realize you don't know nothing.
Yeah.
And I think I'm at that, I've finally hit that goal in life where like I know enough to know I don't know anything.
Yeah.
And it's a really good place to live. You know, you walk around with more sense of a curiosity, but it's hard because it was funny in the book club I run at work. I was talking to the guy. He was telling me about how we read a book about listening, and I was, I'm the mediator. I was asking him like, hey, so why do you feel like it was so easy for you to express yourself and be heard in this meeting, but you said you struggle with it outside of it? He was like, because outside of it, not everyone's reading this book.
Yeah.
And I was like, So that's the one thing about knowledge too, is like you might be aware of things, you might have wisdom, but you also got to remember that other people don't, and you got to treat them as such. Like, hey, treat them have a sense of person. Like, hey, they might not know the things you know, so like even though they're arguing about something where you know that is wrong.
Yeah.
You know, you got to have a little bit of empathy. And honestly, just don't even engage in the conversation. Just walk away. But yeah, I think that was my biggest takeaway from this year. And this is Jace. It's gonna be time you bleep it out. Mahalet. Mahalet, can you get the door, please? For Sean. You just wanted me to have to bleep it out.
She said, bro. All right. So how about you, Keith?
Yeah. What was the first question?
All right. So the first question was, how was your year?
Okay.
How do you think it went? And maybe, say some of the goals you had. You made some of those goals.
Definitely. It went, this year was like, I feel like the first half was very calm and on schedule. But as soon as June hit, everything just like switched. And it's because it was a difference in the way we was outside this year. in 2021 in June, as opposed to my boy is in the building yearly, as opposed to 2020 summer. Like it was Juneteenth when we was first outside in 2020, and that was like the first real like
Juneteenth.
yeah, like the first time we was really outside amongst other people. I feel like it was for me. This year around, like my sister got married, had a wedding. I turned 25, so like stuff just started going. I moved in August, so like things kind of got out of whack. So like Christian, I didn't read as much, but I was learning the entire time that like you can only, and then that goes into my the second part of the question. And you said what was that one?
The second part was your biggest takeaway.
Your biggest takeaway was patience.
Okay.
Like you may be able to plan for things, but you can only plan for them. You can't control the outcome. So like you always have an idea or a vision of how something may go in your head, but it's not necessarily always going to go that way.
Let me ask you a question.
And that's okay.
Did it change the way you plan?
Yeah. You got to plan for those moments as best as you can as well.
Yeah.
You like, okay, if this happens, and it's not even like a negative thing, but it's just like you should always have things in place to not stop your progress from certain things.
Yeah. It's a fail-safe almost.
Yeah. So yeah.
And a question for both of you, considering you read so much the year prior, and this year you guys did a lot of obviously growing and learning, but you did it not reading. When you're reading, you're acquiring knowledge. Do you think this year, the knowledge that you were able to acquire in text last year, that you were able to kind of like get it out on like real world experiences, almost like reading your driver's manual and then going out and getting your hours in? Do you feel like some of those things translated?
Yeah, but I'll also tell people you got to keep reading.
Yeah.
Like you can't like. Even though you could read the same book 5 times and you'll get something different from it 5 times. And and a good quote that I like is, you might think you know something, but you don't know it until you're actually doing it. So just because you're reading it and you know and you think you're prepared, if when those situations comes and you don't do it, you need to go back and review, because just because you know something and you can articulate it and you can say it, but when these moments pop up, you don't actually put it into action, then you know it really doesn't mean anything. So. What I did learn more than anything is I need to start reading again just as much as I was reading before. I got to find a way to make it work.
Balance.
And to your point too, just because you're not reading doesn't mean you're not learning. But reading is definitely like, I feel I learn the most when I read. I would say. So like going to your point earlier about like learning crypto this year, because we both got into it around the same time. Most of the knowledge came from videos. But we didn't really start learning until we really got Coinbase and got Crypto.com and really started buying it and doing stuff yourself. So yeah, like, what is it? Knowledge without action is just knowledge on ice or something like that.
And I learned too is with things that are written, the person who reads gets the information first, because the people who make the videos read it somewhere.
And they just put it in the video.
So the person who goes out to look for information to read it will know things before other people do.
And also, sometimes people that make those videos, that's their interpretation of what they read, not what the actual text is.
That's true. You gotta find the right people.
Mr. Cinco, how was your year?
Sheesh,
You
man.
met some goals this year. How was it?
It went by fast, I'll say that first of all. But technically, it's my whole full year back in New Jersey. So I kind of just spent this entire year just kind of trying to get my feet back, my foundation back, trying to get everything back
Where were you?
together. I was down in Florida for a little bit, man.
He was a jit.
Yeah, I was out there with Kodak and them, you know. I was out there working, working with a homie out there doing some business work and stuff like that with the marketing. But came back, what was it? Some late when the pandemic hit. Just moving throughout that has been crazy. But for the most part, my entire years has been a lot of self growth. For the most part, I would say. Just learning about myself, taking those next steps in my growth, becoming, a better man, a better person throughout every day. I can't really go, I don't got as much detail and stuff like y'all, but my shit was real simple. Can we curse on this?
I think it's like the breakfast club.
You got freedom, bro.
Cool, yeah. So my life was, it was real simple. I'm a real go with the flow type of dude, so, I try not to stress what I can't control.
So that's a Central Jersey.
There is no Central Jersey, man.
Hey, man, we're not going to be
I let him run earlier. I just said I'm from North Jersey.
Yeah, we don't gotta go.
I want to say the same thing.
Keep crazy, yeah.
That's the Delaware water, bro. That, you know, you born and raised in Delaware. You act a little bit. It's only one major city out there, right?
I ain't gonna front. Before you, bro,
It's crazy.
Yo, before you swing, just move the mics, bro.
We don't want to get on mics. It sound too
Yo, I
muffled.
was watching this wrestling clip earlier. I don't think nobody gonna smoke for like for the next 2 weeks. I'm choke slamming anybody that gonna smoke. Like, yo, they was wilding in there. Wrestling was really fun at that time.
That's funny as hell.
What's the second part of the question? Takeaways?
Yeah, your biggest takeaway for the year.
Takeaways for the year, man. I just figured I learned you really just got to adapt, man. With everything, technology, every type of change. Like y'all talked about the crypto, the NFTs and everything going on. It's like either adapt or get left behind. So I'm just kind of trying to get on my P's and Q's and learn and tap in before it's too late, basically. And then, I mean, it's early now, but it's just like you just don't want it to be too late before it's too late.
Yeah. Yeah, I know we talked about it too. You can talk about how you adapted your style and everything too with fashion.
As far as fashion and stuff like that. That'd be cool. Y'all should do an episode about that. That's an episode I want to be on. We can,
Okay. Changing the fashion.
We can talk about color palettes and all that good stuff.
He was breaking it down, bro. He was breaking it down.
Yeah, but man, just with age, you're gonna grow, and with that comes, you want to switch up your style. You want to switch up, what you're putting on here and there. So as of late, I really found it interesting. I like, I want to dress up in my business wear and stuff like that, but I also want to throw the streetwear kind of twist behind it. So looking for different materials, finding different, combinations with colors and different stuff that really go together, which I've been really loving doing and everything like that. So right now, corduroy. That's all I gotta say. That's that shit right now.
I'm with it.
It's funny because I remember when I was younger, I used to wear that shit. The combo, the turtleneck sweater and the corduroy.
Niggas.
With the burgundy Timbs?
Yeah.
Yeah, he caught me.
Yo,
He said,
that was wild, right? To be your own, bro.
He had us going. He was like, yep.
What I learned this year was your family, not your fucking family. That's what I felt.
Yo, I'm gonna have Sean rotate in. Come rotate in.
Yo, that's hilarious, bro.
Introduce him. First, happy belated to my boy. Happy belated.
New York. We got a special guest, New York.
Alright, so we got our first rotator in. We got my boy SJ1 in this bitch. We got Sean.
Jersey City's in the building.
The young king. Happy belated birthday to this man right here. Appreciate you for coming back. Sean's been here a few times already. He's been on a trip with us, episode 30. Been here for 2 episodes, I believe.
Somewhere around.
Yeah, something like that. So yeah, just introduce yourself to the people again. Reintroduce yourself so it's good, and then I'll re-ask you the questions I asked them.
Peace. My name's Sean. That's it.
You don't got no AKAs.
The modest,
AKAs on
the
that
Lost
right
Curry
now.
brother.
That's a cat. If I had that ratty boy, you think I'd be here?
My boy be out there. But alright, so this year, basically, just give us a review of how your year went. Maybe share some goals that you planned and that you met, or maybe something that you didn't get to do. And then the second question I want to ask was your biggest takeaway for the year.
My goals, I pretty much met all my goals. Like my goal been for a while was to finish grad school.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
Thanks, snaps for that.
Yeah. So I'm on my way out. I'm on the tail end. Like I can see the light.
Yeah.
So I had just like throughout my years, I had my head down so much that my biggest goal this year was just to have fun.
Yeah.
Like go out, go do stuff, and on top of that, just reestablish relationships that I felt like I probably didn't give my all to in the past, as far as like talking about like with family members, friends, things like that. Just reconnecting, because I feel like in order for me to become whole, I needed that to happen. So I was focused on that. But my biggest takeaway from the year is just letting things fall in place. Because like I said, like I spent last 6-7 years not doing nothing.
Yeah.
Just work, school, not going out, work, school.
Sacrificing.
Yeah, sacrificing, but also with that, it brought a lot of down moments that was unnecessary, doubt, because you just working, focused on work. And we all know it's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Yeah.
So you start looking and things not falling in place, and then you start doubting yourself. But I just told myself I'm gonna let everything fall in place, and I'm gonna go enjoy my life.
Yeah.
Get out more.
That's definitely a good thing to share, because I feel like sometimes, you know, people don't really understand how important that like work-life balance is.
Yeah.
Because like just as much as you're working hard to get to your goal, like in those short-term, you know, moments when you are experiencing wins and you are achieving short-term goals, you should, you know, like you should cherish those moments. You should enjoy it.
Yeah.
But you enjoy it with modesty, and you kind of like keep yourself like, all right, boom, I'm gonna go out this weekend, I'm gonna celebrate the small win, but then, you know, Monday I'm back to the grind. Like I feel like people get lost in the sauce a little bit when it comes to it.
Twisted. I be having my moments like, oh, I gotta buckle down.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not out yet, but it's just a whole gist of just like appreciating your time while you're here. Like you don't get these days back.
Yeah.
So don't get caught up doing the same thing over, just working too hard. So that's my biggest takeaway.
Yeah. Adding on to that too, that's a big takeaway too. With ever since 2020, I feel like death has been a very like apparent thing, and it's been like somewhat we're almost desensitized to it, but in that same light, like it still reminds you to appreciate every day that you have here. Like, so that's something another thing I took away. Like, yeah, you're not gonna get none of this back, and you're not gonna get none of these people back. So making sure you let people know you appreciate them, you care about them, you love them while they're here is real important. And maximizing your time too while you're here. So that's something that's been
because as much as we're gonna get into some of the things that, you know, happened this year, but as much as I remember, like I used to be watching the news and we watching the numbers of cases and all this stuff, and I'm like, bro, that big number, that's a number like of people's loved ones like no longer here.
Yeah.
And like some of us were, you know, blessed to have, you know, people affected by it and they made it out the other end, but there's some people that didn't.
Exactly.
And that gives you a different type of appreciation for the people that you do have around you, you know, the things that you are exposed to, because like I don't know, it's just a different feeling when I know it's a feeling that we all share. It's like when things are out of your hands and you don't really have control of, you know, things that, you know, people are doing. And it's like we all were at one point at work, at school, doing something, and then we were just told we gotta stay in the crib, we gotta stay home. You feel me? Yeah. So it's like that feeling of helplessness isn't a good feeling, but you also do have to lean into that because it shows you how fragile and how fickle life can be, and at any moment things can really change drastically. So that is an important thing.
Yeah, sounds as well.
Yeah.
Christian going for keep? Hey.
Yeah. Gotta get that Stella pop.
Say something.
Talk about.
No.
Bringing in two more guests. We got some good people in the building. We're gonna introduce the lady to my right first, aka Mahlette.
Hello.
Tell the people who you are.
Mahi or Mahlette. I am Christian's girlfriend.
Stamped it on the mic.
Just letting y'all know.
And we have who else?
Yo, what up, people? My name is Chris, cameraman's best friend. Knew him since high school, and I'm just glad to be on this podcast, bro.
Excellent. Good to meet you. I met you. I've actually, you know, been with your brother a lot.
Totally two different people.
Yeah. And you are definitely yin and yang. For a fact. But you know, you good people. You come from good people.
Shout out to the twin.
Yeah, word. It's good to meet you. So I'll ask you first. The question that I've been asking people was, how was your year? What are maybe some of the goals that you set? Do you feel like you met those goals? And what was your biggest takeaway for the year?
I had a good year. I think I feel like I met my goals, but it was really like, I think I spent a lot of the beginning of 2021 trying to figure out how to do everything, and then I spent the later half of it actually doing stuff, and that's when I feel like I started to get results. So that's probably one of my biggest takeaways from this year also, is just spending less time trying to figure things out and just like doing them.
Yeah.
I think mainly learning about myself, like figuring out what my strengths and what my weaknesses are, and just taking that time to really like work on things that I'm not good at, but also capitalize on my strengths.
Yeah, no, that's important.
Yeah.
And you said your biggest takeaway?
I I think my biggest takeaway is really just to get to know myself. I think that's what I want to do in 2022 is, so I took a Clifton Strength Finder recently, and it showed that my #1 strength, like by far the thing that I was like strongest in was my empathy. And I'm like looking back at my life now, and I can see in a lot of ways how being empathetic can be a strength, but I'm also starting to figure out the ways that it affects me negatively, like in my relationships, or even like me and Christian were having this conversation in a way that I give advice to my friends, like being so overly empathetic that like
sometimes it's hard to call them out on their bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, nah,
We
man, you're
witnessed that. We witnessed that.
And I think that's the thing just with girls in general too.
Yeah.
She was like, well, he's probably a nice guy. No, nah.
No, that is important because, you know, sometimes that is a good quality to have because people will come to you and people will share things with you, but you do have to have a balance because if somebody's doing some bullshit, you gotta be able to tell them that they're doing some bullshit, you know?
Yeah, right.
Can't coddle everything.
Yeah.
Definitely.
They be coddling, boy.
Chris over here sideline here. And Chris, well, there's two Chris's in the building.
Yeah, 2 Chris's in the building.
But once again, tell the people how you feel like your years went. Maybe some of the goals that you set, what did you meet, maybe some you didn't meet, and your biggest takeaway.
Alright, so like this year, man, what I learned for the most part, patience. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of that, like downtime because of like COVID and everything that happened, you know, that's a lot of time for you to work on yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like this year, you know, I'm a fireman per se, and you know, I just started like, I got a job.
Congrats on that, my boy. That's not an easy task.
Nah, man, you know, like it's crazy because like, you know, I always wanted to be it when I was like such like a young age. You know what I mean?
You was gonna be a fireman.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, like I had to like take my time, like separate from people because, you know, a lot of times like I would like blame myself for not being where I would be at in life because like I see everyone else graduating college, getting a house, getting a car, getting married, stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? Let me take a step back, you know what I'm saying? Let me stop the bullshit and then get where I need to be. Went to the academy, busted my ass for 5 months, and I'm here, man. Like, not for nothing, bro. Like, sometimes you do need to cut people off your life.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
You outgrow people.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, like, it's unfortunate that you do have to cut those people off because, you know, they were the ones holding you back.
Yeah.
Now, you get so stagnant with doing the same things. So, it's like, once I started, like, you know, focusing on myself, seeing who was still around while I was still focusing on myself, it really opened my eyes. So that's what I'm saying. Like, patience is really what I got out of this.
No, yeah, that's important.
So, not for nothing, bro. Like, and another thing is, like, life is short, man. You don't even know. This whole COVID thing, your mom, your dad, your friend, you know, sometimes it's good to check up on people to see if they're straight. But then all of a sudden it's like, damn, they're gone the next day.
Word.
And you don't want to regret that, you know what I mean?
Word.
So, especially in the line of work I'm in, life is short, bro. It don't take much just to call somebody, text them, hey, you good? You need anything? That's it.
Yeah.
I've always been that type of guy. But, you know, when it's time to get shit done, you know, you can't be always the nice guy.
Yeah.
You can't always be that guy to be like, oh, how come I'm always checking up on you, but you're not checking up on me? So that's when, like, yo, you realize shit gets moving when you start just really focusing on yourself, man. And this year's been crazy, but next year's gonna be better for sure.
Right. I've met a lot of people that entered the police academy.
Yeah.
And I've met very few that has entered the fire department. Can you give the people a little insight of what the fire, department, what their academy looks like, some of the things that you had to do?
Big thing about like going into that type of field is like health. Health is everything. You know what I'm saying? Don't go in thinking that the academy is going to put you in shape. You have to be in shape before you go into it. You know what I'm saying? Because when shit hits the fan, when you're out the academy, you know what I'm saying, you're trusted on your training, but also your physical health.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
Chris pulled up shooting. I love it. Let's get it.
So I was gonna say, speak about being healthy. So I think the first thing that really happened this year was like that transition from all of COVID, what happened last year, to January 1st, and COVID was still a big problem, and then the inauguration of getting COVID first. From you guys' opinion, the CDC and the government have said a lot of things about how to protect yourself from COVID, but they haven't touched on at all is nutrition, diet, exercise, points of going outside. you know, Mahalet in public health, man, like, how does that make you feel that, you know, as a public health and the standards you guys have to uphold, why do you feel like they've been skipping over the importance of diet, exercise, sunlight, being around social people, getting your mental health right, and only focusing on, per se, just the vaccine? Even though, you know, it's everyone's opinion, vaccine can be very important as well.
I mean, I think you're probably speaking about mostly like the United States, I'm assuming.
I would say, yeah, United States. You think other countries have been talking about the importance of health?
I feel like in Western medicine, they don't take as much of like a holistic approach to health. So the quick fix for them is always like vaccines, medicine, like taking a pill, something that could be like a fast. They see that as like the fast solution to things. Things with like diet and nutrition, I feel like those are more long-term initiatives. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's just not something that's focused on here, really. Like when I go to my doctor, I've never had a pediatrician or like a general doctor that's told me to like change the way that I eat to fix, or change my diet in general to fix something. It's always been like a prescription or whatever. So.
You know what? You speak really well on camera. Like maybe you should do this, and we should switch jobs. Like maybe you're the one that's supposed to be doing this.
He's making me blush.
Nah, but yeah, I agree. I think definitely in Eastern culture, it's like more important to say, oh, you should eat healthy and diet, exercise. And I really understand that, because it's difficult to me. Like if I'm going to the news and I'm watching, let's say someone Fauci, he's supposed to be the guy leading us on health right now,
Mr. Flip-Flops.
and he doesn't say one thing that I know to be true. And I know he's smarter than me. So if he's smarter than me, he's been doing this longer than me, he probably knows what I know about health, but chooses not to say it. It makes me mistrust him, because now I know you're purposely withholding information.
Yeah, but I feel like something I've always wondered also is like if the advice that they give us is like tailored to the crowd. Like if they're telling us to take medication and stuff, or telling us to take vaccines as the first approach, because they know that people won't necessarily take the steps to like fix their nutrition for it or something. Yeah. Like I wonder if, like, I don't really watch international news as much, but I wonder if like that's still the message that's being portrayed like around the world, you know what I mean?
And that's my problem with big government. I don't like anybody in power who thinks they have to make my decisions for me because I'm not smart enough to make it myself. I would much rather you just give me the unbiased facts, lay all the facts on the table. Say this and this will help you make it, and then let me decide if I'm gonna do it or not. Like don't say, well, they won't eat healthy and exercise, so let's just promote vaccines to them. Like to me, you know, I don't think that's right. I feel like you should trust each individual as a person who can make their own educated decision what's best for them and their family. And if you lead without that philosophy, then I disagree with you.
Yeah. And that gets us into our first subject matter of the year, which would be COVID vaccines and how it played a part in the workplace.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah. No, I'm saying. But personal experience, I want you guys to talk about.
I'll be honest.
But I'm going to switch out for Jace right now.
Okay. All right. Welcome to the stage, Jace, 6'1", 175 with long, luscious black hair, smooth beard. Wait, whoa. Nah, I was trying to do like the
I'm gonna have to speak to HR.
I was trying to do like, you know, like the box announcers, how they like promote, you know, like set it at 3. No.
Johnny Depp's brother.
There we go. He got, you know.
Alright, so we're talking about vaccines.
So how vaccines affected our workplace, and you know, we started getting a lot of mandates. I guess I'll come forward. I was gonna get fired, people. My job let me know immediately. They was gonna let me go because we do receive some government contracts. So I did something I didn't want to do. I chose to get the vaccine over the streets. You know, I didn't like it. Obviously, I'm a free spirit. I like to make my own decisions. I know some people listen, well, you're not a free spirit. You didn't make your own decision. Well, I did. I just chose to get the vaccine and then not have a job and have my income go to zero. Because I wasn't going to get, they're not going to give you unemployment. You know, I wasn't going to immediately use my own labor to replace my salary in a week or two. That wasn't going to happen. So, you know, I made a decision.
It's like at that point, what do you value more, your health or your bank account? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know, so.
And you could say even if it does affect your bank account, it affects your health. Because now you're poor. Correct?
Yeah.
Stressed.
Yeah, I can't fulfill my
you know what I mean?
My like shelter food, necessities, like the bottom like tier of hierarchy of needs.
And you can tell my husband, the way I rationalize it is, you know what, I'm healthy, you know, I eat plant-based and all that. I was like, my body will fix anything that goes wrong. You know?
Just take them vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin D3.
Think they gonna pick them up on the mic?
Nah, yeah, they're good.
They're good?
Yeah.
It's crazy because like you're like before all this medicine, I'm talking like way back. I'm talking about like Christopher Columbus age, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like your body is meant to fight anything that's out there.
Yeah.
If you put good stuff in, it's gonna keep bad stuff out. You know what I'm saying? So like, you ever notice like when you like watch TV and they say, oh, if you have heart problems, take this, it'll stop it, and it real quick, it'll tell you all the bad shit, like, diarrhea, all this shit.
Like,
suicide. You know what I'm saying? Like,
call your doctor.
Wait, what?
So
if you want to jump off your rooftop, call your doctor.
Oh,
relax.
So Nate in the car earlier, and I want him to have it. He had a really good take on all this when he was talking about the national selection earlier.
Oh,
I want him to come talk about it. It was a really good, really good take on it. It was interesting. Made me think.
Yo, you want to jog my memory real quick? Nah, I think I got it.
What you say?
I think I was gonna say you could jog my memory real quick, but I think I remember it. So I guess what we were talking about in the car on the way to the thrift shop, I was talking to him about my whole thought point about it being like medicine being an overall detriment to the overall well-being of the planet and, you know, our people.
Yeah.
And I was saying this because the planet to me is fighting back. Like, so to me, like right now we're seeing this pandemic, a lot of people are getting sick, you know, bless them. But like this is the last one, and it's going to come at an earlier rate in the future. And I think that's something that's going to continue happening, so forth and so on, as the planet is telling us we're overpopulated.
Gotcha.
So
it's almost like the course correction that if you looked at the planet like a living being, which I mean,
it is.
Probably believe it is, but I guess it could be, that's an opinion.
Yeah.
But if you looked at it like a living being, that's its way of fighting off. Like, oh, I'm sick.
Yeah.
I have too much of this thing. I have to like
get rid of it.
Balance.
And you know, who am I to say I'm not a doctor? I'm not, you know, X, Y, Z. But like when I look at it on like, you know, kind of like a base sense of like something being a living being, and we're supposed to have like Asante, he said it himself. We're supposed to have a mutual relationship with the planet. Like we're supposed to take from it, but give back to it as well. So
that's
with
like
symbiotic, there it goes, right there. My man said that. But with that, like if we're continuously being like we're just taking and taking and taking, I mean, there's got to be something that comes to shove.
Yeah, so something has to balance out.
And then with that, you know, I was always, you know, Darwinism, natural selection. I mean, I'll say I haven't got a vaccine yet, and then, you know, it's been on my mind, you know, back and forth with it, you know, I was like, should I? And then, you know, where I work just doesn't require me to get it. I also don't go into the office very often anyway, so I'm usually home most of the time. But I've always been a person that, like, hey, like, it sounds kind of fucked up, the people that, you know, bodies can adapt and adjust to, you know, whatever's new and around, they're gonna adapt and adjust to whatever's new and around.
You're shadow boxing in the mirror, like, yo, I'm gonna kick this vaccine's ass. I mean, I'm gonna kick this virus's ass. It comes after me.
Yeah,
no, the vaccine's
nothing on me. The vaccine make you sick too.
That's what I be saying.
That vaccine.
It's a crazy thought, but I mean, like, yeah, when I look at it, like, in simplest terms, it's like, yeah, I mean, like, that's some shit. Like, that's some, like, something to think about. And natural selection is a real thing. There's a reason why it is, you know, a theory or whatever, Darwin, whatever you talked about. Shit.
Yeah, I think a big part of it is just like the money in like pharmaceuticals, you know? Like the pharmaceutical lobby on Capitol Hill, like outspends like every other industry by like a lot. Like almost double, I think. Like next to, you put it next to like war, like arming the military, and they're like, no, we spend more than them. You know, that's crazy. So like I can't really trust, I don't know. It's weird. It's like when, I don't know, medicine, it's like you talk about public health, but then it's like you're capitalizing, like making money off of it.
Yeah.
And I'm all for like, I get you gotta make money, and that's the society we live in. But it's just, it adds some fuckery of, I don't really trust it. And they kind of like put these vaccine things just like, they put these vaccine things just like everywhere. You drive past, it's a guy wearing like a Yankees fitted, and you're just like, yo, whoa. I want a person in like a lab coat, you know? I want to make sure there's some checks and balances here. You just have these roadside vaccine testing places.
This one is just like,
you just want this guy to shove a rod up my nose?
You wanna know what I found weird? When I was at work, I'm driving down Broadway, and I see like this longest line, and all you see is this big ass sign that says, free COVID testing. So they're gonna start charging us to get tested, just like, and they want us to get vaccinated. So it's like, why should I have to pay to get tested? It should be free. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, like, there's people that like can spend their money on something like buying diapers, food for their family. You know what I'm saying? Gas is off the roof right now, so for them to be like a free COVID test, I want to know what other places that are charging just to get tested. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't bring this vaccine. Like, you know what I'm saying? They didn't bring this COVID here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's sad to see that, and especially like, you don't want to bring that home, but at the same time, it's like, what else are you gonna do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know.
Do you know what I think is a big topic that's happened recently in our times is the idea of misinformation. Like, that word gets thrown around a lot. And I kind of don't like it.
Fake news.
Right? Like, I kind of don't like misinformation. Because, like, misinformation's always been around. They act like it's a new thing.
Oh, like propaganda and everything?
Yeah, like...
Yeah, but I feel like now also with, like, social media and stuff, I feel like it's becoming, like, almost more of a problem in a way.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I feel like that's why, what was it, Facebook and Instagram started doing that censoring?
Yeah, like the filter.
Yeah.
Independent fact checkers.
Mm-hmm.
Although I heard that wasn't right on Facebook, right? They're like, they have a lawsuit or something.
They pay the fact checkers.
No way.
Yeah, nah.
More than likely.
That's crazy.
That their
We kinda
censoring
saw that
wasn't
one
real.
Nate, like, I knew these niggas.
I mean, no, look, at the end of the day, man, it's like everything's a dollar. Everything in America, everything's for sale, man.
There's a period of time, if you said it came from a lab, they were like, that's a conspiracy. And now that's like, they're like, yeah, it probably came from a lab. And you're like, yo, you took my video down on Instagram because I said it came from a lab. And they're like, sorry, yeah. Things change.
Completely for new people.
Facts. It's like
Different spots, yeah, I like this.
fatigue. This fatigue control right here. You feel me?
I know, man.
We full court press in this episode, so we gotta get full.
A good AAU coach. Fresh legs.
Fresh legs in this bitch. Let's get it. So top of the year, right? Another event that started off this year was, can I call them hoodlums? Can I call
them gangsters?
Can I call them gangsters?
What about terrorists?
The people that fucking stormed the Capitol.
What about terrorists?
Oh,
because
Does the camera get high?
because they couldn't
Does it feel hot?
stand the fact that they mans didn't get voted in, and they said it was collusion and voter fraud. And
You know the funniest thing about that? Not to cut you off.
Yeah.
The funniest thing, the guy, I guess you could, the gang leader.
Yeah.
You call him gang. Call
Yep,
him
the
gang.
gang
Call him
leader.
terrorist. The terrorist group. The
Yeah,
terrorist.
when he got locked up, he said he can't stay in jail because of his diet.
He's vegan.
He's vegan, so he can't eat.
Hey, no. I don't know vegan food he eating. We don't act like that.
Yeah,
No, Dr. Sebi, they did the same thing. When they locked him up, they didn't honor his diet.
He died, didn't he?
Yeah, because like more or less he was just drinking water, but he's like, I know somebody trying to kill me, so I'm not about to eat the food that they give me.
No, but he's just not eating it because he's saying it's not part of my diet and I have an allergic reaction. And his mother even spoke up.
Yeah.
About it.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, man.
She went to like the police station and pled for him. Like, please let my son have his food. His tummy acts up.
Bro, if he get whole
Not his
food,
tummy.
bro, if they start giving him whole food in jail, bro, I'll be sick.
I ain't gonna front, bro. If you don't want to deal with jail food, don't do jail shit. I don't know what to tell you.
Eat that 3-day-old bologna.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
That
Yeah,
government cheese.
That government cheese and that 3-day-old bologna.
That's big
Enjoy
facts,
it.
nigga.
But what you guys
Gangsta.
think
We're free on my
about
guy behind the
that?
wall.
I mean, I don't think we gotta really recap it. Basically,
No, we
people
know what happened.
stormed the event. I mean, stormed the building. You already know that.
Deeper into it.
So, the fact that first off, in that like American blood was shed, right?
Facts.
In that, I think 2 people died, right?
Yeah.
Was it 2 like security guard? Like
No, one was a lady that stormed, and
She
another
got
one.
shot in the neck.
One was
They told her don't go.
a police officer of sorts that got bludgeoned to death with like a fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
And the other was a girl who was raiding it. She was a veteran, and she was like, they got all the way to like the
door.
chamber of
Yeah.
the Speaker of the House,
Wherever
Yeah,
and
they
then
do
she was
the
about to
meetings.
hop through the window, and then boom,
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
to the
They
chest.
told her don't.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she still, they said, if you come through this door, we're gonna shoot you.
They shot her.
Yeah. Middle man.
The
Middle
craziest
match.
thing
Middle
is like
match.
there's this video of right after there's also like SWAT members coming up the stairs right after she gets shot, and all the people that are storming her with her, they're like, you have to help her. It's like how
she's the wrong one. And it's
yeah, like
Yeah.
how dare you ask the same people
So
who kind of like shot her
So what
for help?
what
like,
type of
now you have to patch
psychology
her.
do you have to have for you to be doing wrong and truly not in the moment understand how wrong you are.
Insanity?
Yeah,
Audacity?
I was just gonna say, if anything, that just paints the perfect picture of where we are in America today.
But even like
the fact that they could get away with something like that, because if it was in reverse, somebody would have shot a rocket launcher down there, easy style, try to wipe all of us out. That's how I feel about the situation.
Listen, only that side would even think about storming the Capitol.
Yeah,
like it is what it is. Call it what it is. It's a terroristic act.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you can't. It's almost in a sense like you can't address someone in their own house.
Yeah.
So it will never be called what it is. It's just like right now, people probably forgot about it.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, there's not probably many people that care about it still.
we forgot that it was this year.
Mm-hmm.
When Hassan said that
January
happened this
6th.
year, we were like, what? That was this year.
That was the top of the year, bro.
That's crazy.
And that's the first time you ever, like, bro, they were in freaking Nancy Pelosi's office.
That's
taking
nuts.
pictures on
Reading her mail. The dude that had his foot up on the desk, he got like 10 years or some dumb shit like that.
Exactly.
Nancy
Like,
put a book at him.
Bro, I don't understand. Like, you feel like something happened, and because you feel like something happened, right? Feel, mind you.
Exactly.
Because you feel like something happened, you went and did this. Someone died, and we saw it, and we know what happened, and we know what happened on camera. And people were going to peaceful protests.
Yes.
And then here come niggas just launching tear gas in the middle. They're rioting.
And shooting rubber bullets.
Yeah, like just going crazy. So it's just like, bro, you can't. That's just pure privilege, bro. Like the fact that you think that because you're outraged, you can go and disobey the law, that you're so American, right? You're so American that you are going to disobey the laws that you so rightfully believe in, and now you expect for a different outcome. If you're American, that means you trust our legal system, right? Well, it doesn't mean that, but if you're a true-blooded American, right? You're supposed to trust your legal system, believe in the process of courts and judges and stuff like that.
Right.
So if they, you better be impressed. You're like, wow, you guys really handle me the way you're supposed to.
Yeah. Like, right to fair trial. Yeah, 10 years. Hold on.
The way I look at it, like I like to look at it, like on a bigger. I feel like it shows America's weakness more than anything. Like if I'm an outside country looking at that happening, to me, America looks weak. Like you got a society of people who can't even accept losing. Like they lose and they start tripping out and start acting like children. And they react that way. It's like I'm like China or Russia. I look at that and I just see the falling of America, just the weakness of America. Like, that's how weak their people are. Like they can't even. Like you guys lost an election, like through your own government body. You can't accept that. Like grow up. And that's how I look at it. And
I always felt like when it comes to America, I don't think it's gonna come to a point where someone's gonna defeat us. I think it's something where it's like it's gonna be defeated within, and then spread to the outside.
You ain't hear about so there was like a meeting, I forgot where it was, but it was like different countries came together, and they said China was laughing at America because China believes in like the art of war, so they're not gonna go to gunfight with America, but there's ways to win a war without actually shedding blood. Like the best way to win a war is to not lose nobody doing it. The way the art of war thinks is to win a war by putting in the least amount of effort possible. That's the way to win. The least amount of effort you put in to win, that's how well you did in that war. So you have things like, and that's why like sometimes Trump would say something and I would kind of get what he was saying, like with the whole TikTok situation. Yeah. If you have a country that's really built on, we're going to beat America, we're going to be number one in the world, and you give them access to all your data just to see how the American mind thinks. With today's technology and knowledge, you could use that for something. And I've seen things on TikTok which I believe they shouldn't be pushing. Like there's a lot of people who go on TikTok to self-diagnose their own problems. Not to say all TikTok is bad, but you should never be going on TikTok trying to figure out you have a mental illness. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I feel like we shouldn't be giving our data away to certain groups. We shouldn't be giving our data away to, maybe to us it's all fun and games, but just know there's countries out there who are really like, we're going to be number one. We want to beat them. Yeah, we're going to win.
My boy Snowden been put that out on the blast. Like, with the whole Patriots Act and stuff like that. It's like, bro, you can't expect for people that don't have any type of regard for your people, to have all this information and they're not doing something malicious with it?
Exactly.
What would be the, like, I was watching Family Guy last week and they did the Christmas special. And there was a joke about, there was a commercial on and it was like this panda bear and it said made in South Korea, and basically like the way you get the bear to get excited is, it said you have to say key buzzwords, and if you put a debit card in front of the bear starts to dance. And if you it said half off for government employees. So it's like, it's a joke, we're trying to push this bear, right? And Stewie's like, oh, I want that bear or whatever. And Brian was like, he's like, don't you see that's just a government agenda from another country? And then he looked at Brian, he's like, I want that bear. And like, that's a regular American child, bro. It's like, no one's gonna look at the Trojan horse. People are just gonna see what it is. Like, no one's checking inside of it. Mm-hmm. So it's like, bro, if there's information that's pointing to like, all right, these types of people are having access to it. That's why now when you have your iPhone, you download the app. Now it asks you, right?
To track.
Oh, do you want us to track it or do you not? Whatever. Because people were complaining about these things, but this has been known for years, bro.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you're just getting hip to it, the damage is pretty much already done.
Yeah.
So whatever they's going to do with that shit, they're going to do with it.
What I think would be good for everybody to understand is like, yo, we're in competition. Like, I know we really live in society, like, don't compete with other people. Even if you want to just compete with yourself, but just realize you live in a capitalist society. Capitalism is built on competition. The person who could compete the most and the person who can compete and win is going to get the most. And that goes the same thing like today for Kwanzaa, the first day. Make sure I pronounce it right. It's Umoja. I said?
Umoja, right?
Umoja, yeah. Which is, I know what it's built on unity, right?
Yeah.
What I love about Marcus Garvey, he really preached, yo, unity, competition. You got to understand, like, yo, don't expect another man or another group to come help you. Count on yourself. So you have to get together and say, yo, we're one, we're going to work as one team, and we're going to go out and win, and we're going to go out and compete. I feel like America needs to get back to that, because when you live in a capitalist society, there is no, yo, government help me. There is no, yo, we need aid. It's, no, put on your boots, get up a strap, whatever you want to do, and outwork another group. And we live in such a globalized economy that you're no longer just competing with Americans. You're competing with different countries. Yeah. If you continuously, for generations, allow another country to beat you, how easy we have it in this country, it won't be easy no more. Like, we have it as easy in this country because after World War II, we went out and outcompeted everybody. And we did it for years and years and years and years and years. Regardless of all the bad things that was happening, that's what America did. So if you stop doing that and allow another country to beat you and the new technology that's coming out and the new things that's happening, you don't say we're going to be in the forefront of all these things that are going on, you're going to lose. But I feel like people don't think that way, especially in America, because they say strong men produce easy times that produce weak men. We've had it so easy for so long that we just trying to take life for granted. Mm-hmm. Like, a poor person in America, God forbid, is a terrible thing, but they're rich in another country. A poor person in America could have an iPhone, could have too much food to eat that the majority of us are obese. So a poor problem in America is having too much food to eat, having an iPhone, and obviously that's not everyone, there's really the lower, talking about majority. Yeah. And bro, we gotta understand, like, whoa, like, yo, don't let these other countries come in and beat you. Don't let your neighbor beat you. Like, yeah, be friendly, yeah, compete with yourself, but yo, wake up and realize you're in a race. Word. And yeah, it might suck. Maybe you're running a race to be free and do what you want to do, but yeah, you gotta produce, you gotta win. This black leaders, a guy he worked for, he was on the Breakfast Club. He said, bro, if we ever get to a point where, say, the world is overpopulated, who do you get rid of first? You get rid of the people who don't produce. And us as black people, he goes, he was black, he said, yo, to be truthful, we don't produce anything. We don't produce anything. So the first thing we need to start doing is start producing and start competing and start winning.
Well, I mean, as far as to go as deep as to say, who are you talking about?
What was the guy's name? He was on the Breakfast Club. I have to look him up real quick. He was a famous... Umar? No, not Dr. Umar. I don't have my phone.
Umar, to go as deep, to go as deep to say we don't produce, I wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
Because of the simple fact that we do understand that the greatest inventions, even something as simple as the broom, came from a black person. But at the end of the day, do we get credit for it? No. So there's things that we produce that we've never gotten credit for.
Elevator, microwave.
There's a lot of stuff.
Majority of stuff.
You can't. Listen. Yeah. I'm saying simple stuff.
Yeah.
Super soaker.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know that.
He's a black man.
Yeah. Super soaker, that's hard.
We don't get credit for it. So if we can't get credit for the simplest things as a mop, then how you expect us to get credit today, and
Exactly.
the world is way more
Yeah,
advanced.
and then even when you think about it, like a broom, that's more of a
Dr. Claude Anderson.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know what it is.
I'll watch it though, because I'll
Yeah,
be
really good. Dr. Claude Anderson.
actually, I think I did. You sent this to us, right?
Yeah, Dr.
I
Claude
did see
Anderson.
that.
Really good interview, bro.
Yeah.
Really good interview.
In terms of like stuff like the broom or the mop, like a white man didn't make that because they just care that their house is clean. They don't care how it's getting done. So why would they make something?
Prime example.
Why would they make something to aid, to help somebody that they hate? If that makes sense for me. So, I get like to your point. Yeah, like yes, we have to get to a point like that, but it's because we're trying to do things in their house. You get me?
Exactly. Yeah.
It would be different if we had our own. We don't own anything. I would say like
Yeah.
we don't produce anything because we don't own anything.
Right, and
it
that's
starts
what-
there. I would say.
And I go back to the welfare state, which I think was created in like 1965. We really started pushing the welfare state, bro. Maybe a little bit sooner. But it used to be a time where, in the black community, we were doing so well and we were moving forward because, we were like, we're going to do everything ourselves. And then when the welfare state came out, we started expecting government handouts or just waiting for the government to do things for us. That's when we actually went backwards. We need to get back to, we don't need them. Let's do it ourselves.
But it's just
A lot of the things and stuff that we were doing ourselves were shut down, not by our own accord.
Bro, so do you know before, who said this? Because I don't want to, maybe it was Dick Gregory. I heard it from one of those people. They said that before desegregation, before they desegregated, black people used to have their own bus line that was all black owned and it was all running. But for some reason, when desegregation ended and we went back to segregation, black people preferred to ride on the white man's bus than the black man's bus, just to say like, I'm riding on the white man's bus now. Look at me. But then all the black buses went out of business. So it's things like that. And that's the guy. Dr. Claude Anderson was talking about that. And he was like questioning us, like, why would we do that? And it's like that situation with a lot of things. Like instead of eating at the black man's restaurant, we're like, oh, look at me. I guess go sit in the white man's restaurant.
Okay.
And that came from desegregation.
I feel like if you look in history, once obviously desegregation happened, and when that did happen, it created a climate where now we're no longer in two separate worlds. We're forcefully in the same world, and now you become my competition. So you might have a all black diner. You might have an all black bus, but guess what? I can burn your buses down in the middle of the night to make sure that you can't work.
Yeah.
I can burn these diners down to make sure that you can't eat. I can fucking kick your toilets and make sure them shits don't work. I can ruin your water fountain, make sure you can't drink from that shit, and you can't use my shit.
I like this. I
Even
feel like
with
we
the-
found like 2 topics in this episode that we need to get deeper into one
But
day.
even with that, it's like
Nice.
when you do stand by your culture and you do support your people.
Yeah.
In society, you tend to get pigeonholed. So, like, no matter what anyone says, like, if I'm talking about other races, when they, like, for instance, if you say, oh, no, I don't dig out my race, they automatically think you got an issue with them.
Yeah.
If someone walk past and see you eating in an all-black diner, they're gonna think, oh, you got an issue with the other side. Whereas though, as a black man, you could go to another a diner that accepts both.
Yeah.
And you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But they don't see it. They don't see it like that. It just everyone thinks just because you're for your people, you have an issue with the other side, and that's not the case.
Yeah, I would definitely, one day we got to come back to this again.
Yeah.
I want to get deeper into it, but
Right.
we're going through the year, right?
Yeah.
I like
Alright,
that. We
so
got to bookmark that.
The vibe out there now, so shit is weird. So
Yeah.
like, obviously there's something going on our earth that's not right. So that's really how I see it. And I think we kind of got to figure it out. But like to be on some Leonardo DiCaprio Save the World Climate Change shit, no.
Yeah.
No.
And it's like it was snowing in Texas this year. Like,
I got
Yeah, that was
family in
crazy.
Texas.
People
Somebody
died.
told me that.
how did it affect you?
Bro, it was like they weren't prepared for that. You know, people were driving like it's regular, and then getting in car accidents. Like, I mean, me personally, it's snowing, and I know it's not supposed to be snowing where I live. I'm not driving that fast.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
driving at all.
And maybe they're trying to
I'm
drive
not
that fast
driving
to the
at
crib.
all. Like, it was crazy, man. Like, my aunt was calling me, just like, yeah, people getting in accidents. It was wild, man.
Yeah, I saw they were like that. Texas didn't even have they didn't have salt for the roads.
That's right. They
They didn't have
prepared
plows. Like that's just not something that they needed to ever be equipped for.
for that.
It's
like
it's
it's-
really wild.
Heat went out because like they lost power.
Mhm.
Some people just
Oh,
like
yeah.
have, they have no heat.
Bro, like there was a Twitter thread of just people in their houses, and like this one lady, she's like, look, like my wall's caving in, and her bedroom door, and that wall just fell down. And then like someone like their ceiling just, because it's just like, bro, like the stuff that they have out there is like paper thin. So if they get 2-3 inches of snow, that's detrimental to that.
That would have
build the house.
Huh?
That's what it costs a little.
And it could be that's what people were saying. Like people were making jokes about it. It's like there's a lot of people that move to those places because it's like, oh, you could get a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment in a pet house district for $1,500 a month. It's just like, oh, that's crazy. Like $800, $900, and it's just like you hear a bunch of people moving out there, and then you've seen like the stuff that was happening to the housing units and like the apartments and stuff like that. It was like, yo, maybe this is why it's so cheap. They're not using the best materials because it doesn't need to be insulated as well as a house in Nebraska, New Jersey would need to be, you know?
Not built the same way.
But a lot of the houses being made, let's say from back then till now, it's like now what they're using is lightweight construction.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing is really made of what they're saying it's really made of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like if it catches fire, that's just gone.
Yeah.
And fuck if it's a hurricane or anything, that's just gone. You know what I'm saying? So
you
like,
guys have to know what types of.
yeah, so like I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'll show up to this house. It's, oh, this is wood frame construction.
Yeah.
I don't know. I gotta be there. I gotta be there from the jump from when it was built.
Yeah.
In order, but like from the outside looking in, I'm like, all right, this is typical wood frame. That's it. But like a lot of the materials, like you see property, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, like 2 weeks later, you see people building shit. A month later, you're like, damn, they built this shit real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like you're like, it's lightweight. It's not real material that they're using to build these complexes or garden homes and stuff like that. So it's like that's something to be aware about.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised when I hear shit like that. Like, yeah, it's not really made out of what it's supposed to. So it's like, if it's cheaper, why not?
Word.
You know what I'm saying? So
Make me fucking paper mache brick. One gust of wind coming, I'm down the block.
I made your origami house.
No cap. And then another natural disaster that happened was in Florida. There was a slight earthquake. I don't remember what it was on the. I think it's the Richter scale for earthquakes, right? Yeah, I'm not sure what it was on the scale, but it wasn't an earthquake that should have caused that amount of damage.
Yeah, nah.
And the building freaking collapsed. There was a bunch of people that were trapped,
Was this here?
killed.
It's like in the middle of the night, right?
Yeah, it was crazy.
So all those Florida buildings, they're old as shit. So like my building that I lived in was made in like 1975.
That's crazy.
So like other building, like mine was considered newer because they just upgraded it. The other ones have been out there since 1950, 1960s and stuff like that. So it's like from that they just like probably just failed to inspect that. But that was like down the block where my aunt lives. So like she was telling me it's just like super crazy, like all the ambulances, everything that was down there. It was a really wild event.
Yeah.
Really wild event.
Nah, that shit sounds like a lot.
Shit you don't expect at all. And it was crazy, the fallout from that. Like you had residents all over Miami just taking pictures of their building because you go into some of the parking garages, you see cracks along the buildings, and everybody was like, yo, is my building gonna fall next? Is my building gonna fall next? And it was just like for a couple of weeks, it was just like everybody was kind of freaking out.
And there was a report that also came out with that there was surveyors are the people that inspect the building?
Surveyors, yeah.
Yeah. So one of them pulled up to the building, whatever, and he said over 10 years ago, he let them know that the trend of that land and how fast that the coastline was moving up, that eventually that property would either be underwater or it would be at risk for something like that to happen. But he was saying that if those plates shift, that it's not going to be good.
Yeah.
And he advised that they, destroy the building and like relocate, but they didn't do that. So the people are actually responsible for, wrongful death suits. There's a lot coming that way. And I haven't seen anything really developed on in that case in a minute, but definitely got to search back into that. But we're going to move on to the next subject. We're going to switch more people in. Usually we do Song of the Week, but this year, we're gonna do some album breakdowns this year.
Who want to do album breakdowns?
I like that. I'm a heavy Pikachu. I don't know if y'all want me. If I just chime in from the back, I can just yell about some bullshit.
You can say here. You can say off camera.
Like,
I'm
with whatever.
Mills, I know you want to do album breakdowns.
I'm on camera, but I'm gonna yell from the back where here's some bullshit.
Nah, stay. I think Nick, you got an interesting taste in music, so I want you to stay. And I got an interesting taste in music.
So,
you want to get into music talk?
First of all, Who trash? I just wanted to say somebody was trash. But
Yeah, NBA Youngboy's trash.
Donda wasn't good?
Yeah, pass me the mic. Come defend your man. He's gone.
Young boy's a goofball.
Come on.
He got 2 dents in his head.
That's
I'm not listening to nobody with 2
Nas did
dents.
deserve album of the year whenever he got it. So
You don't think Kings of Thieves is crazy?
Alfredo.
Oh no.
Oh, okay. Hot take, Nate.
So let's go around. What's your favorite album of the year? Favorite album, favorite song. Go in a circle.
Yeah. Album of the year, song of the year. In your opinion,
Keith,
this is all subjective.
Go first.
I
Keith.
said it's between the off season or Expensive Pain. Favorite song?
Gotta choose though.
My most played song this year was Lemon Pepper Freestyle.
Okay.
I don't even know if that was on purpose or not, but y'all know Rick Ross, my uncle. So, yeah, it was on purpose. But, Love Train by Meek Mill, most likely. Yeah. Love Train by Meek Mill.
That's the song of the year?
That's my favorite song.
And your album?
Oh, also, Sue Surf, he dropped the top 10 album this year, Jersey. I promise you.
Regular shit.
Y'all really got to tap in. He don't just battle rap. So Vip Lap, it's him and Leaf Ward. Leaf, he from West Philly. He like that. Tap in. Or I'm gonna Mac everybody in this room straight like that.
Alright, Nate.
I'm gonna just start this off by saying Drake album, Kanye album. What else I'm putting out this year? J. Cole album.
Oh my god. Be easy when you say J. Cole.
What else I'm putting out this year? Come on,
Easy, Nate.
Kings of Thieves 2 came out.
Thug album.
Tyler
album.
He's about to say something
He
crazy.
must
he is.
Albums, honestly.
Oh, I knew it.
Straight like that.
I knew it.
Hey man, BoJack. You know what it is. Block work. If you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about.
Boldy James.
Boldy James, man. Detroit song.
Facts.
We talking, then we talking. But if
Detroit
not,
making a comeback.
Yeah, Detroit's out here, man.
You know who the
Real.
best rapper from Detroit is, though, right?
Big Meech.
You talking about? You don't say Big Sean?
He's obviously the best rapper from Detroit.
Best rapper.
It's Big Meech.
You know the up and coming rapper from
And Terry.
Detroit.
Who?
My man and Bridges on the Hornets.
Miles Bridges?
Yeah. Trying to get out.
Miles Bridges is hot.
He wild?
He is wild.
I gotta look him up.
He's alright.
Wow.
He's definitely him and Bacon rap.
Bridget I be wanting to slap him, bro. How he be rapping? he talking about some Papa Mali. I'm leaning up.
Yo, Adam Silver and they're going crazy.
Yeah, they listen to the lyrics.
That's why he could dunk like that.
He getting the 10 days suspension.
Just start with imagination.
Drum
shit.
What
What about you, Chris?
Go crazy.
Oh,
You didn't get your song of the year. My bad.
Quick. Once again, let me just. I'm not the regular. I'm not gonna pick from the normal shit y'all
Listen,
hear on
let him
the radio,
know, man. The abstract. What are you talking
This
about?
is here, man. Currency, the one and only, man. Y'all listen to Jermaine Dupri. That's that song. That's that song right there.
Currency, that's what he got.
Jermaine
a dollar
Dupri said that
sign
song
too,
made me
right?
cry.
Dollar sign in there.
Dollar sign and currency.
He said because
Song.
he said as much as he's done in the music industry, no one has ever written a song about him. So he said that he called Currency and he told him that that shit brought to the shit.
That's that driving music right there.
Facts. Shout out to him.
Jermaine Dupri looked like a piece of
This
bacon.
guy's looking through his library. I don't know if he's ready.
I'm ready.
Somebody wrote nothing about it.
So I'm gonna throw y'all off, and I know we
Chris about
talking.
to say some bullshit.
No,
Chris will be like, y'all heard that Bad Bunny album? No, we didn't. Go ahead.
it wasn't that album. But,
Bad Bunny sanctioned. You wildin'.
He's wild.
I'm telling you.
I'm telling you, about to get mad.
I'm gonna put it on after this. So everything
You're gonna get a lot of hate mail.
I don't care. Bad Bunny he's not having an album of the year.
Oh my god, you're gonna get. I'm saying.
You speak Spanish?
My opinion.
He Spanish. Yeah.
You speak Spanish?
No.
Do I speak Spanish? Yeah.
You know? Oh, okay. You know what you be saying on the tracks?
Bro, I speak Spanish. I know what he be saying.
I
Some
speak
songs I
Spanish
do,
too.
But my song album of the year is Wild West by Central Seas. I know y'all don't like that type of
Who is that?
It's UK.
UK drill.
UK rapper, bro. It's a no skipper from top to bottom, I swear to God.
Niggas looking at him like,
You
yo,
know,
look at another.
See,
that's
my
what
boy
I just
Mills
know
know
it
that
sound
can
mad.
be-
In my mind, I'm envisioning a choppy song. It's like men's like this, that's like that's. But I know it's probably hard. I'm not saying they can't rap, but it's just not. I think it's not as friendly to the ear as like,
No,
and it might be biased.
Come on,
No.
I'm here to double down. That shit is the two.
It's just like their slang is not. It's like I'd rather hear somebody from New York on a song, but I'm biased
because
because
you're from, yeah,
exactly.
Obviously. Someone from the UK would be like, "Yo, them American accents is
nah, bro."
Same shit, bro.
But I do think they have a little bit more range because they could
Listen,
rhyme
bro,
certain
no,
things
no
that we
problem,
can't
man.
rhyme.
Bro, why niggas dissecting your shit like it's not your phone, bro?
They didn't even hear it.
They could, for sure I didn't hear it. I said it. I feel like it sound
No
like
one heard
this.
it.
Wait, say bro name again?
No one heard it. Central Seas, Wild West.
Central Seas. What part of London he from?
Seas, Central.
Oh, where he from? He from
South
I
London.
forgot. He from
South
He's a road man.
Like, I'm not gonna hold you. His name sound like some UK slang.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I think they get more range.
So I really like him. So a lot of UK drill artists, like Keith is saying, it's like, you know, 5-0 type of vibe.
Yeah.
And then he snapped on the one Kanye song, but he's actually rapping like about his life, about things he's going through.
Must not hot.
He sampled the 50 Cent song. What he sampled, Love It, Hate Me or Love Me.
Hate It or Love It?
Yeah, Hate It or Love Me.
He's actually nice though.
I believe it. I'm sure.
So that was the
I'm
one
sure
album.
big
It's the most played on my it's my most played, and I would go to the gym, listen to it straight, no, do not skip a single song. So I gotta give that.
Send me that.
But song of the year is tough. I'm just going with my gut. And my gut, like I told Nate, and like the billboards agree with me. It's Kanye West off the grid. Off the grid. That's
we don't endorse Billboard.
Production, hands down production. 5-0 verse on that. He rapped for 2 minutes
First of all,
straight.
you're gonna say his name correctly.
Was it
5-0?
5-0. Whatever.
We don't like 12.
Police is on there.
Whatever. 5-0. He rapped for 2 minutes.
No, he's not.
2 minutes straight, bro.
I think I heard that one.
Crazy.
My man said,
But my only gripe with that song is Playboy Cardi should not exist on that record.
Nah, play with his verse on the
cream.
His verse don't make me mad. Though what makes me mad is the end of the song. I'm about to take honestly, Kanye might have made me take my pick back. I find a new pick. Come back to me. Because at the end of the song, Kanye was like, some say Adam could never be black. I tell y'all that part of the song gets
and that
so
is why
excited.
that shit is chat. Fuck. That's his song of the year. You gonna disrespect it?
Nah. Because for a second I forgot I had to get through the chronological order of the song, and I forgot about Kanye.
That trash part.
You could have gave Cole somebody.
Really?
No, Cole was my number 2.
Playboy Cardi is trash.
Nah, his verse on that don't make me mad.
He is trash.
Nah, usually
the production is fantastic.
All right. Despite which I think y'all may know, neither of my picks has anything to do with Aubrey Graham.
Really?
Yeah.
You're full of surprises today,
You feel me? A little sunny, man. But my song of the year, which is perfect song.
Okay.
Top to bottom.
Okay.
The vibe is there.
Okay.
The sample is great.
Yes.
Song of the year for me goes to Avalanche by the Migos. Papa was a Rolling Stone, but now I got Rolling Stones in my bezel. Ice.
That song hard.
That's all.
And that's it, bro. I can see through the fuck shit. I think that was it. Yeah, no, that shit's stupid.
You know what's
I
funny?
want to hear it right
You know
now.
what's funny? You want to hear what's funny? You know who the first person in this room to bump the Migos was?
Alright, come on, man. Chris was in Florida at 08 and a crackhead walked up to me and gave him an iPod and said, listen to this.
I was really a G in Florida.
He was a G.
Nando's.
He passed him one headphone.
Yeah, no. I remember the first time I heard Future in Florida. I was like, who is this? They don't bump this back up north.
Oh,
I said,
man.
who this man? I heard itching. That. I was like, oh my god. I knew he was gonna be a star. I knew from that day right there. I'm itching. Fuck it.
No, my album of the year. Despite the name, it's a play on words for Devil Wears Prada, but it's West Side Gun. Hitler Wears Hermes. Or Hermes.
That's Big Griselda.
Yeah, Big Griselda. Big independent shit. Big owning your master shit. You feel me? Masters. You see the fucking vibes we all know.
Who was I'm gonna throw a curveball at y'all. Who was the most improved artist of the year?
Improved?
That's cool.
So Surf.
Doja Cat.
Oh.
Ooh.
Losing me.
No cap.
No, I see. You might be right on that.
Doja
I'm
Cat.
not gonna hold you.
That's a good pick.
She got canceled last year, technically.
Okay.
And this year she literally
turned the fuck up.
she had the most number ones, I think.
She turned the fuck up. I like that.
She rebranded well. Or
You said artist, I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Nah, I hear you.
Is he that? Y'all want to pick Lil Nas X?
Nah.
What about Giveon? That was this year too? Giveon.
You dropped a full length?
He just got caught cheating 2 weeks ago.
Oh, word?
That shit was crazy, actually.
Off the iCloud
Off
too.
the
That's
iCloud.
nasty,
He was
my boy.
watching
You
that shit,
gotta know your shit is logged in somewhere else.
He was
Giving away sauce.
he was recording on his iPhone.
I'm telling y'all, check y'all shit.
Let me upset ESTG.
For what?
Most improved artist
Most improved artist.
or album of the year.
Most fire album. What?
Oh,
I ain't
Sean,
hear that.
Sean.
If I ain't a young China, then what do you call
But
it?
y'all who can't hear. Sean said album of the year, but
I'm not
it's
gonna hold you.
STG.
If it got really fast 808s on it, I probably didn't hear it.
This is really
Nate is like Squidward with music. He
Yeah, I
gets
was about to
everything.
say, like, he really sanctioned with the music.
Off
He said,
mic.
yeah, he brought that out. You know,
What was y'all?
You know,
What was y'all? Song and album?
Oh,
I'd probably have to agree. Personal favorite album, I'd probably have to agree with Donda, just about.
okay.
Jay says Donda.
Production.
And then favorite, best song of the year, probably Driver's License by. No. Deja Vu by Olivia Rodrigo.
Oh, okay. You know, that song.
I'm also say young.
I don't know if you're being serious, but that song did fucking.
I got her album right here, Sour. Yeah, that's hard.
Hey yo, underrated album, Russ, Chomp 2, that shit was actually crazy.
No, yeah.
I didn't
Yo,
know.
I ain't gonna front.
Russ.
We gotta hold ourselves accountable,
Yeah.
bro. He from Jersey, and we really
Yeah,
don't.
no, Russ is tough.
Yeah,
And y'all gotta start respecting Russ.
And
he gets money.
numbers, bro.
He gets money and he really can rap. I
And I'm also
swear.
saying,
Russ is alright. Russ is
I like
alright.
Russ.
He's really nice and he really gets money.
It
'cause he
became
owned
it
all.
became like a Twitter trend to make fun of this
Yeah,
nigga and
but
our
like,
Jersey.
it's like Wale. Like people make fun of Wale all the time. He's tough.
But I also
And-
want to.
We don't.
Yeah,
we
let's
don't
talk about
play
his
him like
album.
we
Wale
should.
album was
Yeah.
stupid.
I
OD.
also want to say something.
Russ is nice.
If y'all don't get a chance, hats off. No, I'm not hats off. The
Hats off is
Voice of the
sanctioned.
Heroes. Lil Baby can rap.
We've been knew that
No,
though.
but I know we knew it, but he made it known again.
Still
Like, he could really rap.
no lie. No, he really did.
He could really
You
like,
gotta stop.
listen.
He be.
He's having.
There's a couple of these
I
songs.
stamp it. I grew up on Wayne. He's the closest thing we have to Wayne
Bro,
right now. I swear to
There's
God.
a couple of the songs where I had to pause the song and run it back because he's like, yo, he's out of control.
So
You can
if
rap,
you
bro.
did that, how many times would I do that? Because you know I'm
Bro, if
faithful
you
for running the
want,
song
if you
back.
want to hear an album where bar for bar, you're gonna be like, "Yo, Little Baby, smoke Dirk." I don't know why Dirk let them put this out.
It's two
No,
different
you're gonna be
extremes
like, you're
though.
good. No, you're gonna be like, "Why did Dirk?"
And I gotta pay homage to my boy because Chris disrespected him on his platform before, months and months ago.
Who?
But my boy, the hoodie over there, Young Spider, Young Sex, you feel me? My boy Thugger.
Time out.
He had the most creative.
Time out.
He had the most creative album this year.
Can we stop?
For a fact.
Yeah, stop this.
stupid.
It was cool.
He had the most creative
Time
album.
out.
Cool.
And Jay, you
Young
be my
Sex.
witness. My co-host,
He said that part.
but my other co-host isn't here today. But them two love coming on the show and always saying that I be slandering people's names, I be disrespecting people, I be out of pocket.
Alright, y'all want to hear something? Chris said he doesn't think DMX should be in anyone's top 5. You remember when he said that?
Yeah, you smoking.
I might have said that.
This is before he died.
I might have said that.
Before he died.
Before
I
that.
might
And Chris has also
I might have
stated
said
that
that.
not that he doesn't like him, not that his music isn't for him, but he said Fab is garbage.
I have said that many times.
No. He's
Garbage is crazy.
No. He will stand on that.
He will stand
He
on
will
that.
die. He will live and die on that hill. He said, "Yo, I've been in arguments with people that said Fab was nice." He said, "All right, let's go to AZ lyrics right
See,
now."
this is what I do to people. With Fab, I make them read the lyrics
Wildin'.
off of his lyrics. Like,
He said, "That's tough."
songs and read the
He
lyrics.
was like, "That's tough."
And every time we do that, everyone always like their opinion changes.
But you
a little bit.
can't
you
find
like
shit
that
like that. You can find shit like that for every girl. I can find shit like that for Ross. I can find shit.
Whoa,
I can find shit like that for Wayne.
Whoa,
I almost drowned
whoa.
to the pussy, so I swam to her butt.
Whoa,
Really, nigga?
That's
whoa.
hard. That's hard. That's hard. That's not hard.
That's because that's where the juices went. What you talking about?
That's
The
not
juice
fire.
is loose. He said.
But that's not fire. That's not fire.
What?
That bar.
Repeat it. Say it.
Abracadabra.
Oh, yeah,
He also said abracadabra.
that bar.
That
Repeat
same
this
verse.
shit.
Abracadabra.
If it's fire, repeat it.
Magic Johnson. Who's doing that? You wildin'.
Alright.
First off, his ESPN freestyle.
I do got a question though.
is
Talk to me.
one of the hardest
I
things.
do want to know if this is a group, like for everybody, upcoming artists for 2022. Like who we watching out for?
Young Blue.
He's
He done had a.
He dropped the album.
he had a run in 2016.
Wrap him up.
See how they treat me on this show, bro.
He dropped the album already. Up and coming. Niggas know him already. He went on tour.
Wait, let's find specifics. When you say up and coming, you mean Someone that released the album already, or somebody that's like still under the
We
radar.
got early bubble. They might have been featured on some stuff.
Vori
already.
Vori
Alright, I don't know.
Vori
said, I don't know.
I want to hear
Tristan,
Because I would put ESCG on my list of up and coming.
Kristen, what do you want, man?
He said, what?
Because he's not all the way there yet for me.
Would you say?
I say I would put ESCG on my up and coming in 2022 because he just
Okay.
popped.
All right. So if he could put that in, you're valuable for it.
Okay.
You valuable for it.
Yeah, because he just popped on the scene for me.
He already established.
I know he established,
But
but he just kind of
up and coming is like it's not that he's not.
But yes,
I get it. I get it. I get
He
it.
got the shit on lock right now. That's where you from, right?
No, he's from Kentucky.
Well, yeah, he got that shit on smash.
He from Kentucky?
No, from Kentucky.
Yeah, him. That's why him and Jack Harlow so cool. They from the same spot. He says he's from not Louisville. He says he's from Laurelville.
Oh, and time out. Time out. And we all agree here that Jack Harlow can rap, right?
Yeah. No, that's been solidified.
Shaw looking like.
That don't got nothing to do with it.
Shaw look like I don't know about that one.
Nah, but Papoose shit.
Yo,
This
Chris.
nigga was.
You think Jack Harlow can rap?
You said Papoose. Yo, I'm about to get up. We about to rotate again.
Rotate.
He's wild. He said
Next
Papoose.
topic.
We taking a small break.
First of all,
We gearing towards the end of our episode, so now we definitely did some takeaways from what we experienced this year personally. We went through some major events that happened this year. We didn't obviously get to touch on everything because then this will be a 365 day long episode. But we now are talking about what we want to experience in 2022. What we a buzzword that people say is what manifesting. Well, we're manifesting, right? So, what do y'all see for yourselves in 2022? What are some of the things that y'all hope to see in the world? Some of the changes you're hoping to make, or hoping to see? Who wants to start off?
In 2022, for personally,
Yeah, personally, and then maybe something you want to see.
personally, man, just trying to hone the craft. I really want to get back. I want to get back into in 2022 stand-up comedy. I didn't do it. I did it once in 2021. I want to. Things are getting back to like a little bit. Things are a little weird right now, but things were kind of normal for a while, and I think they're gonna get back there in 2022. So I'm excited for that. Go to like comedy clubs and all that.
Come to
Hit the city.
Come to Philly.
Philly?
Yeah. Philly.
What's the comedy club?
Punchline.
Yeah.
It's a punchline.
Punchline? Yeah. That one's
Vlog.
Yeah.
That'll be a dope vlog.
Yeah, we'll vlog that shit.
That'd be dope, man.
Definitely.
Yeah, so
Even
that
if
for
you put
2022.
You put the clapping in the background.
Yeah. Shut up, right?
Put the soundbite in like niggas dying for my joke.
Yeah.
This guy Jason
Laugh track.
fucking riot.
Ha ha. Yeah, and yo, for 2022, I'm excited about the metaverse right now, man.
Woo!
Man, like I was watching this. I don't know. Last night I was watching this video about like buying real estate in digital worlds.
Yeah.
And it really just like made me think like, wow, yo, this shit's different, man. I don't know. I can't fully articulate how I feel about it yet and the vision I have for where I think it could go. But I think it's really gonna change shit up, man.
I still don't
I think we're really gonna start.
Life expectancy going to drop 20 years.
You think so?
They're gonna be in the crib in the metaverse all
People,
day.
people just gonna be in the house,
What
right?
you mean don't be outside? I was outside.
Bro, reality is gonna be better than the real world. I mean, reality. The metaverse is gonna be better than reality.
Watch Ready Player One.
Word.
That's what I was.
Everybody.
That movie's
watch Ready
amazing.
Player One. It's
That
great.
movie's amazing. And I would say some of the things that I plan to do in 2022. Obviously, bring DGC mastered and extra sauce and putting the points, everything that we're doing to the next level. Like you said, honing our skills, learn new things, mint NFT.
Yeah, definitely.
And start to create some more passive income for myself. Go and finish school, which I plan on doing, and football. And just pretty much just get things done that I want to get done. And as far as something that I want to see change in the world, I do want to see, I feel like when we were in a pandemic and we were in quarantine, people had more of a general sense of compassion for each other. And I think once we got outside again, and that split of the demographic went between vax and vaxxed and unvaccinated people kind of became more divisive again. I would like to see like more just collaborative effort and just creating a better space for everybody. Like as far as you want to put your differences ahead of whatever you want to do, like I can't be Gandhi to everybody and preach that, and that is something I would like to see change. But as far as understanding that we're all human, we're all on the same planet, and we can all fuck this up for ourselves, or we're all in this country, and regardless of how we feel towards each other, we can fuck this up for ourselves. So just start creating better moments and just safer environments and just cultivating certain things as far as like media, financial markets and stuff like that. Just people having more of a collaborative effort just in general for most things. I think that would be dope to see.
Yeah, I think that's why the metaverse is gonna be useful for that, man.
Yeah.
Because I think like all this like nonsense of like people wanted to be like, I don't know, people like bring like this identity that they've cultivated through the internet out into the world with them. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be like politically, like people are like very like politically extreme right now, or it'd be like I'm gonna use like a very extreme and like hyperbolic example. Like people want to be like fucking like animals. You know what I'm saying? Like I identify as a cat. Like I'm a feline. You get me? And then like you want us to call you a cat in the real world. It's like nah, we're not doing that. But now with the metaverse, you'll be able to achieve that. Get that shit out.
Be a cucumber if you want to.
But then when you come out into the grocery store, we ain't doing that shit. Not walking around with a tail. Get me?
Sean, what do you hope to see for yourself in 2022 in the world?
I mean, like I said, for the past years, I've always had my head down. So for 2022, it's like the plan I set a couple years ago is manifested now. So I'm honestly just appreciating it, and I'm just observing it, everything about it as far as like, now I'm actually inside the school, working as a school counselor. Mm-hmm. That was something I was waiting for a while, because it was like, I'm going to school to do this, but I don't even know if I like it.
Yeah.
But now I actually get to do it, and I can honestly say I like it. Like now it's just finding a spot where I'm comfortable at, and just having fun, just enjoying my time.
That's good. And seeing the fruits that you're working.
Yeah.
So
just reaping the benefits.
I got a question. From your experience of actually doing it, I know we talked about it before, like the experience of actually doing it, working in the school, what do you think are the biggest needs that you see are missing from the community?
As far as with the students?
Yeah.
To be honest, people, it's not as complex as people think. It's simple things that the students need, in a sense of like, some students, I'm in a high school, and it'll be different if it's a kid in elementary school, but some kids just simply having issues like dealing with things, so it leads them into dealing with depression. Some kids have issues with getting up in the morning, so it'd be small things like that. Because once the kids in the school, then they perform, but it seems like it's always an outside source that knocks that kid off. So it's just, I guess you could say, stability then.
Yeah.
Just trying to get a kid as much stability as you can while they're in school, so they can do what they gotta do. Like I recently had a counseling session with this one boy, and he's a senior now, but his freshman year, everyone used to always say like, well, he was just out of it. Like he didn't do nothing. He was just failing. He was doing this and that. And I sat down and talked with him, and just through conversation, he kind of told me like he couldn't handle the fact that his brother died, and his brother died during his freshman year. So I'm just hearing faculty describe him and tell like all these negative things, and then I hear him say like, "Yo, losing my brother was rough for me." Like he said, it put him into this depressed state that he couldn't get out of. So it's like that wasn't paid attention to.
They only were focused on the effect rather than
the cause. Like they was only focused on his behavior. They wasn't taking into account like he really lost his mind when he lost his brother. But now he worked himself back. He worked himself out of it, with the help, they did get him help though. I'm not gonna say they didn't, but he worked himself out of it. Now he's about to graduate. So it's just like, if you don't get the full understanding of a situation, then you could be misguided.
100%. 100%. Chris, how about you?
Well, I'm looking forward to the new year, man. It's not really for me. It's like I just want to see like my loved ones like be successful at what they want to do in life. You know what I mean? So it's like I already know what I got out of it as far as wanting to be what I wanted to be in life. So it's like, yeah, there's always more, but it always feels good to see someone else that you know, like me and Jay. I could talk to him. I don't have to talk to him for like a year.
Yeah.
But if I hit him up and like, yo, what's going on?
Yeah, I haven't seen you for months.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it'll be like, nothing happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I just saw you yesterday.
Yeah.
But it's like, I want to see you progress from what you did last year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not really for me or what I want to. Personally, I just want to see my people be successful in what they want to do in life and go from there. And as far as like this new year, man, hopefully we all learn from like this year and not bring the same energy that we brought from this year to the next year.
Yeah.
Do something new. You know what I mean? So whether it's like, you know, you home, whatever, like pretty much do something that, you know, that you're not like really used to doing. You're trying to do something different. Like me, I'm like Sean, I was never outside.
Yeah.
I swear to God, Jay, I'll be home all the time, chilling.
Yeah.
And then now I'm like really like trying to like be social, trying to like have a good time, enjoy life. And then the type of job that I'm in is like, you really fucking...
He has been out of control.
Wow, yeah. I ain't gonna lie to you. But, nah, man, just, life is short, man. Take it for what it is. And then do what you want with it, you know what I mean?
Word. And now this is a switch. And
Nate.
The last crew will come in and wrap up the episode. I'm going to say my goodbyes right now because I ain't come back on the mic. I'm going to see y'all next year. Make sure y'all tune into the Demigod Chronicles.
Gangster.
Make sure y'all tune into Saturday Sunday. Make sure y'all tune into Greenhouse Podcast.
Master Studios. All that. Y'all see the
Master Studios, everything. Putting up points, all that. Bow.
New York.
And I'm going to hand this over to my people.
Something special right now.
You know, what are you expecting for 2020? What do you want to see happen for yourself? What would you like to see happen in the world? 2022. I apologize. I want to hear back. What would we like to see?
He said,
Keith,
you're going back in the metaverse.
Keith, start us off, man. What are you looking to see happen for yourself in 2022? And what would you see like to happen in the world as well?
So for one, definitely all the creative visions and things I want to bring to life. Like, I feel like I've thought about it for enough time. It's like time to bring it to the forefront. Mm-hmm. So all of those, I want to bring those to the forefront for myself, for sure.
What's that shift gonna be like? So like that's because I think that's important. That shift from I've been thinking about it, now I'm putting it to action. Like what's that shift gonna be?
It's really just doing it, bro. Cause going back to this is really full circle. This is gangster. Going back to what I was saying in the beginning, like I can only plan for so much, but it's up to you to actually take action and to do stuff, to go through stuff, to be able to know what to do and not to do.
Yeah.
Cause I know for sure I'm not gonna get it right on the first time, second time. Like it is, you know, success takes certain times, takes a certain amount of time of constantly just doing. So that's the biggest thing, just taking action, I would say. And then you said how the world, I just hope, yeah, I mean, that this COVID stuff ends. I feel like I've learned everything I need to learn from the situation, and we're going backwards now. Cause, like, that's literally how I feel. Like we done did everything that's about to happen. We done already been through. So hopefully this endemic thing with Omarion. Is it Omarion?
It's Omicron.
Touch.
Black people play too much. That's the problem.
But not, there's no way I will never say anything but Omarion. Like I'm gonna tell my kids the Omarion variant.
It was whack.
I mean my grandkids. I'm gonna be capping so hard when what was it like? I'm gonna be lying.
Even after Icebox.
But even after Icebox. But yeah, basically that. And then for us to all just, I mean, like going to my man said, like he said, I want to know your life path number 2 because that's how I go through life. Like a lot of things. I could be like the catalyst behind a lot of things, but I don't need the credit for it. As long as I see somebody else do well, that's the only satisfaction I get out of that. Like, you don't have to say I did what or did whatever. So yes, I love seeing others do well. So be in a position of being that connector, collaborating with others, and while also helping myself throughout all that. So yeah.
Beautiful.
I think so.
Nate.
Oh man, 2022, man. I'm honestly not gonna lie, I haven't put much thought into it. I've been really taking it one day at a time. So I mean, the fact that it's right around the corner, you know, now I guess I'll start thinking about it. But really, I'm just gonna continue my self-growth, keep going on that positive path forward. I could say though, my number one goal, this has been my really overarching goal, like where I want, you know, my life, you know, path, my whole plight is. I'm just in a continual search for the team that I want to put together in order to create the vision of the creative ideas.
Building your tribe.
Exactly. So, however, you know, I got to network myself in different situations. That's what I want to continue doing in 2022. Because as soon as I find those like-minded people who share the same vision, not like that I don't already, but in just a sense of just growing and expanding, getting somebody or even a group of people that are all in, ready to go on this, you know, this mission, these ideas that I have. Because at the end of the day, I just believe that it's like you're only as good as the team around you, and if I don't know how to do something, I'm gonna get somebody that knows how to do it super well. So. Yeah, that's really it for me for 2022.
So,
yeah, what's up?
Yeah, I'm actually a follow-up question. So what is that process like? Have you thought about, you say you haven't really thought about it, but that process of going out and finding people to complete that wolf pack and doing things you're not good at, what is that, if you could kind of envision it now, what does that kind of look like for you? Because I think, and I would like you to touch on it, because I think in our generation, people don't network enough and don't understand the importance of networking. So
networking is crazy. I got my job as soon as I got back from New Jersey off of networking from my Pop Warner coach. That's like back in elementary school. So like that's how crazy networking can be. But I'm all about organic kind of networking. So I mean, social media is cool as an initial point of meeting people, but the ability to meet somebody face to face, have a conversation with them, and just honestly be able to be honest and vulnerable in the situation and the ideas that you have with people. Not thinking that everybody, I like to think everybody's inherently good. No one's there to steal ideas or anything like that. So being able to share and just be able to just have a whole bunch of compiled ideas come together, and then you find out who those people are and how they work and all those working pieces. And I just think that kind of comes from me, just kind of everyday life. I mean, anybody who knows me knows that I'm kind of just all around. I'll be in Florida one week, I'll be in New Jersey next week, north, south, central Jersey. So, and through it all, I just have conversations like you know. I know you've always said, like, I try to talk to X amount of people every day. And then, kind of like you, I don't have a number, nor do I really even care to talk to too many people. I like to talk to people that really fit into my zone. But when I do find those people, whether I'm going into a vintage store, whether I'm going into a streetwear store, a resale store, mall where it's just a random Foot Locker, I want to have a conversation with those people just to kind of see because the most important thing to me is perspective at the end of the day. Yeah. So the more perspective I can gain, the bigger my scope will get, and the easier it'll be for me to hit my target.
Beautiful.
So, beautiful.
For me, I think for 2022, what I want for myself is to just start spending more time and energy on things that elevate me, and less time on things that are just like mindless activities. So
what is it? What do you mean by elevate you? Like, define it.
Things that help me grow. So just reading more. I feel like by reading this year, I've really been able to kind of learn more about myself. And that's kind of just my path for 2022 is really just, I want to learn more about myself, learn about my strengths, and just like learning to capitalize on that kind of stuff. And then less time on like mindless activities like TikTok and stuff. Just like, also just like surrounding myself with more positivity. So like this year I had to have a conversation with some of my friends about how I can't be the person that they like dump all of their negative energy on. Especially because like as someone who is an empath, that like can weigh on me very heavily. So and like I love my friends, but I just can't be that person for them.
Boundaries.
Yeah.
Call a real professional. For me, that's not your job.
Thanks
to call Sean.
Don't call me. I'll tell you quick. I only deal with kids. I don't deal with no grown ass people.
Yeah, I think that's really important for me going into 2022 too. Also, is just surrounding myself with things that are elevating me, not taking away from me, and adding just like positivity and value to my life. And I think what I want for the world is just for people to just be kinder to each other right now, and learn to disagree more respectfully. I think I'd love to see the end of cancel culture. I feel like that's gotten to a place that I think it started with good intentions, and it's gotten to a place that's really toxic now. And I think it's also just preventing everyone from being able to actually have conversations that we need to be having.
One mistake, you can't grow from it. Like,
yeah, exactly. I'd love to see that. Yeah, come up.
Cool. And I think for myself, so the number one thing for myself, goal-wise, I think it's tough because I break my goals out into like categories of things I want to accomplish. But the number one goal, I have to be honest, I don't care who says it's superficial. My number one goal as a 25-year-old man is to make a lot of money. I don't care what anyone thinks. I'm sorry, but if you call me superficial, call me what you want. I know at this point in life.
You can't call me broke.
Because I'm big. Like, I want to start a family. I grew up as an only child in a broken home. I don't want that to happen again. So I want to start a family. I want to get married. I want to have kids. I want to have a lot of kids.
Crazy.
5 minimum. He said 5 minimum.
Minimum what?
I want kids. I want to be married, and I know at the end of the day,
This man is crazy.
I'm crazy.
Yo, he took a seat away from this nigga. Whatever he got, I don't want it.
Let my cousin speak his truth,
I'm
man.
just being honest.
Listen, man.
And I know being practical, raising kids in a great household and giving them a great education and a good background takes money more than anything. You know what I'm saying? I want to be wealthy. Well, I'm not get wealthy in a year, but I can get rich. I want to get rich. I want to be in a situation where I could afford to do things, and I want to be able to go buy all the organic groceries and not have to worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Cutting my paycheck. Like, I want to be like, yo, I bought all my groceries because I don't pesticides in my food. None of this is my food. I'm going to a great gym. I'm getting like everything I want. You know, so I know that all starts with money. So if I just focus on the core root of things, the rest of it just will fall into place. Because if you're more, money just makes you more than what you are, and I'm a good dude, so I'm gonna do good. You know,
you just gotta get laid, bro.
Laid, you know what I mean? So I'm just being honest. It's my truth. And what I would like to see for the world, and what I like to see for the world. She live with me, bro. What do you think's going on?
Listen, fuck India and Dirt. Y'all bugging out right here, you heard?
So,
I'm trying to be like my boy right here.
So in terms
That's
of
so wholesome. If you knew this nigga, man.
I'm really like that.
He's dead ass.
So in terms of
what I see a mother shed a tear here.
What I like to see for the world, bro, I would like everyone to get to a point, like she said about the cancel culture, like just accept the fact that you don't know everything. And I think we're all pretending like we know everything. That's why we're so quick to cancel someone else. But we don't even understand that, everyone has a different sense of morality. And there's like 6 categories of morality. And depending on what your 6 categories of morality is, that's the way you view the world. You could be someone who thinks that you should law and order. You could be someone who believes in morality from religion, law and order, from your own personal beliefs. But if you don't even know where you stand as a person, and you're so quick to judge someone else, you'll be so quick to cancel them or throw out what their opinion away in the box. And understanding that all comes from a stand of, I don't know everything. And I think the quicker and the faster society could be like, I probably know 0.00001% of what's important. And if you could really, truly understand that, I think that we can all get to a point where we get back to listening to each other. We can get back to accepting opposite views. Because I read in this book, bro, hearing a opposite opinion that disagrees with you is like getting chased by a bear in your brain. Like, you think a bear is chasing you and ready to kill you when someone disagrees with you. Like, that's how the chemicals in your brain react. So it's tough because we're human beings and that's a natural response. But we have to be aware that that's our natural response and start breaking away from these things. And I think the faster we could do that, we'll really start getting back to, not getting back to, moving forward as a society, that we could start moving in the right direction. So that's what I want to see for myself happen, and that's what I would like to see for society happen. And part of what we do at DGC, like I tell them all the time, I come on the show to add value to people, is to start pushing a message that encourages you guys to do that. You hear us, we come on the show, we argue. You know what I'm saying? We argue in our group chats even harder. You know what I'm saying? We come on the show and we get after each other all the time. Sometimes we get mad at each other and people don't want to talk to each other for 2 days. You know what I'm saying? But that's us debating ideas to come on the show and talk with something more clear and something more articulate in the hopes that someone else understands it and it grasps their lives and makes it better in a way. And that's what we do. And we come here every Sunday. You know, we come here every other Sunday and do things on our off weeks. We buy equipment. We spend our hard-earned money to go buy things to make it better for you. You know what I mean? So I hope that in 2022, people really start to grasp that and we can move forward. So this has been another wonderful episode.
What LeBron said, I want my damn respect.
I want my damn respect, and we're going to earn it the right way.
Facts.
You know? So,
You can
this
sound
has
like
been
you're about
another...
to go into a couple bars.
Someone
You
said
gonna earn it the right way.
You know, see, which I don't know, Nate know. We had a mixtape. Me and Nate had a mixtape and a couple other of our friends. Oh, we put those. Never mind. That's another episode.
No. Spill the beans.
No. Better yet,
Spill the beans.
There's a diss track out there.
Oh yeah, Nate wrote this track for me.
If the world ever needs to hear it, just let me know. I got
So
the
y'all,
Patreon content.
Nate wrote a whole diss track.
Help me understand this. So y'all was in a group together. Y'all made a mixtape. Y'all
they
went
just
through a beef. And this is.
I started it.
This is like this might listen. I'll be the narrator of the documentary. Let's know.
He probably was reading his bars and you know what? This is trash. I got something for you.
So this has been another episode of the Demigod Chronicles. Watch this. You can follow me at CB.Lopez. You can follow Asante Theyre _ Demigod Chronicle _ You can follow that's wrong. You can follow the Demigod Chronicles at the Demigod Chronicles _
That's right.
You can follow Cedric Sunday at Cedric Sunday. You can follow Nate Corval
it's
at
underscore
Cinco.
Nah, it's just Nate X.
But ain't nothing. Ain't no other
Nate X Cinco. You can follow Jace at J Sway. J Sway. You can follow Sean at S.
J1.
You just butchering this whole
Yo,
thing.
listen, Nate, listen. Jay's gonna put the little Johns when we little
Yo, throw mine up here though.
It's gonna be at the beginning.
Chris, what we got over here? What's your ad?
Oh, Chris don't miss.
Chris don't
That's
miss.
tough.
That's tough.
I might steal that ad at 32 too. Here we go.
See,
Mahalat Mesfin.
this is what happens when you're
Mahalat
from Garfield.
Mesfin. But if you follow, she got no photos. She just
This is what happens when you're from Garfield.
She's
You
not
still
on
steez.
she's not on social
You
media.
still a steez, ladies and gentlemen.
And this has been another wonderful episode of the greatest podcast in Garfield, New Jersey. In the world.
Out of here.
In the world. And coming to you live from Garfield, New Jersey. We are out.
You could have lied.
Niggas.